Hey everyone, I wanted to take a couple of minutes to talk about our Dooap Studio and what we call Shepherd. So Dooap Studio is an environment that sits alongside the Dooap solution already. And if you know that, the Dooap solution brings in invoices from your vendors via email. It captures that information and it makes all sorts of decisions and choices based off of that. The Dooap Studio allows for us to get even stronger and go even deeper and make rule sets and be able to do a lot of different things to basically get from 95% success rate for OCR capture to 100, close to 100%. And it also talks about we can set rules and look at past information and do different things. So that's what Dooap Studio can do. The goal of it is basically to make sure that we're kind of revolving around less touch points and less manual intervention with that. And it's very quick and easy to use and really doesn't require any IT. So I want to go ahead and jump into our solution and look at a couple examples of what the Dooap Studio has done. So I already brought in via email this one particular one from Granger. And if you notice that it talks about what Granger did as far as bringing data in, but what Dooap Studio did is it basically pulled membership information from past invoices and automatically coded to the right area right from in here. So basically took the invoice, captured it, grabbed all that information, but then went above and beyond and said, okay, from past history and so forth, we're going to code it to this particular area. We want one more example that we did with an invoice called McMaster that we wanted it to not even stop at AP to vet or take a look at, but go right to the approver for McMaster who made the original order of that. So I'm going to go ahead and switch over and we're going to go and look for Benjamin. And we're going to act as Benjamin here for a minute. So as I go into Benjamin, this is an example of what an approver would see. They'd only see their invoices that are assigned to them. And notice that this one, again, came over from our Dooap Studio or our AI composition. And so what happened was it took a look and it said, okay, great. We're going to match tax and freight and invoice, and we're going to capture all that information and basically go down to a difference of 1, which is basically acceptable difference with our thresholds that we have. The point that it also does is it actually took it, instead of going to AP and then make AP take a couple of steps and send it to Benjamin, who's the approver, it automatically said, you know what, based on that rule, we're going to go find Benjamin, we're going to send it to Benjamin directly. One other thing I want to show here is the actual behind the scenes with the Dooap Studio to kind of show really here's what it looks like, but here's what it looks like behind the scenes or under the curtains, if you will. So I'm pulling this up and taking a look at what it executed here. If I drop down, this is really just showing the process that our Dooap Studio took for that invoice from ingestion all the way through to the different processes, all the way through to matching the PO lines, going all the way through to the post comment information that it added. And then basically it took a 75% acceptance rate. So there's a checkered flag. So meaning that's the process. It was the confidence level is enough to send it to Benjamin. If I come down here a little bit further, it talks about what it's trying to do with the match PO line. So the AI response is taking a look at that information, and then the reasoning how it did that process is sitting right here. Again, nothing that your AP approvers or anybody needs to see, but this is actually our Dooap Studio in action doing these invoices. One last thing I want to show you is what I called Shepherd. And so that's our term that we use. We used to call it brain, but basically Shepherd is, you know what, we want to just have queue it up and say, this is what we want the system to do. Can you see if you can create basically an agent to be able to do that information? So instead of typing this out, I'm going to go and copy and paste in this particular agent question. So I'm going to go and say, you know, bill validates if sales taxes have been handled by the vendor, and if not, add the sales tax based on the invoice. So basically I just copy and paste. You can type it in, you can verbally say it, and I'm going to go ahead and send that process through. So what you're seeing here is our Shepherd is using our Dooap Studio to actually identify this information and start looking through all these different scenarios and different tests and so forth. And it went through all of these and came up with that information. And then at that point, it should come up and basically tell us that, you know, based on this information, here's the start of our agent in that respect. So right here it says I prepared a preview for review. And if I come down here, it basically has this information and takes it through. And if I want to go ahead and approve and create action, it's going to then take that through, and I'll go ahead and close out of this. And in doing that, It just took that information right from here and created my actions where then I can take that into my test environment and I can process that through and make sure it's okay, or tweak it if need be. And I'm right there. This actually took me and guided me through very easily to 95% of what I need to do, and then I could take it from there to build. That's how easy our Dooap Studio and our Shepherd is to be able to start writing agents and basically getting to that 100% that we want, or getting those extra different rule sets that we want to do. Hope you enjoyed this. Look forward to sending some more to you.